What's up guys, Intellitech Studios here, and today we're going to be doing a video on the newest vacuum that I just got. And it's one that I've been, I guess, wanting for a while. I mean, technically speaking, I'm never a fan of canisters, but this is a canister that I remember seeing on HSN. In fact, as of the time that I filmed this, that presentation, despite being from back in 2007, is still available on HSN's website, but I'm probably going to make sure to archive that at some point, assuming it's still up. Now, right off the bat, this box is rough. So I really, really hope that nothing is missing, because I mean, I can fit my whole hand in that part of the box, and that's not good. So this took some kind of bad impact. And if you're wondering why there's no tape, it's because it all just kind of came off when I went to go pull the label off. So I really, really hope and pray that this is in good shape, since I traded it for the Henry HVR 200 Turbo. So hopefully this is in good shape. On the bright side, I definitely have some extra boxes I can use for packaging various things. Alright, we got this. Ooh, that is really scratched. Oh, I'm not happy with that. That is really scratched. It looked a lot better in the picture. But we do have a power head, which that we're gonna have to cut that. So we'll grab that. Oh, box is making noises. Another box. Okay. There is that. Alright, let's see. Got our hose. That's pretty scratched, but again, I'm sure they gouged this pretty good, so I'm sure that's to be expected. And grab the machine. Uh-oh. So we do have a stair tool with decent condition. Ooh, that is really scratched, but that's in decent condition. Got a crevice tool. That looks like the DC-15 crevice tool, and that's in there. Rocco, stop it. And is this intact? Okay, that looks okay. Ooh, some bubble wrap underneath it. Is there no dusting brush? Alright. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. That was weird. I don't know how that ended up over there. Okay, good. Good. So, we do have, which I assume, like the DC-17, I assume that clicks on. Yep, just like that. Kind of. Rocco. Alright. So this, of course, this is all open now. Man, this thing is really gouged. But yeah, so this is a is a Dyson Stowaway. The canister that doesn't lose suction. So this one's a Dyson Stowaway DC21. In the UK, these were known as the Motorhead model because I assume because the DC20 that came before it, I think, was a Rocco. There's a cat. The cat. Rocco. What you doing? What you doing? All right, so this is the well, let me get the power head all unwrapped. I can do this with one hand, maybe. I don't know if I can do this with one hand or not. Just kind of pull it off this way. There we go. So there's our cleaner head, our power nozzle. We'll put all that back in there. And that and everything. Get all that cleaned up. So this goofy little thing is the Dyson DC21 Stowaway, which was the first truly mass-market Dyson canister here in the United States. There was a previous canister that was a turbo head nozzle known as the DC11, but that machine was not very long-lived in this country. They only sold it and really promoted it for less than a year, really, before it got overshadowed by the upright DC14, as that machine came out in early 2004, and the DC14 came out in October 2004. By that time, it was pretty clear Dyson wasn't really taking any consideration to canisters here in the US market and focusing on their uprights. But in 2007, they tried to redo their canister image by introducing the DC21 Stowaway here in the US, which was a Motorhead canister in the UK, but since Dyson did not have any other canister up until that point, there was no DC19, DC08, there was no DC08T or DC20. This was the first Dyson canister to succeed the DC11 here in the United States, so they decided to borrow the Stowaway branding from the UK's DC20, but also give it a motorized nozzle. So you could call it either the DC21 Stowaway or Motorhead. Either one is correct based on which region of the world that you got this. But here in the US, Stowaway is the official product name. What are you doing? Rocco, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyways, so this is called Stowaway based off of, well, this. The idea that you could store it in this package in the way the handle was and all this. You can just grab this off and it sits in this little channel right here, this little nib, little niblet, or not niblet, this little notch sits into, and that allows this whole thing to stay on with the hose wrapping around the channels on the top and bottom of the cleaner. So the idea is that you can pop this out You can unravel the hose. You can attach the wand to the cleaner head, and then thanks to that being attached, you can pull the cleaner head out of its channel. You can unwrap the rest of the hose, and then you've got this little swiveling cuff in the center. And then the idea is, which I'll have to, of course, put this in the tripod to demo this, you actually will retract, kind of in a similar vein to the, the Dirt Devil Ultra MVP that came out here in the States, where you have the hide a hose, where some of the hose hides inside the wand. It's kind of a similar idea with the DC-21, where we push this big red button, and the entire wand in multiple pieces, and you actually have to pull it a couple times for it to go all the way through, and you have to make sure to give the hose enough clearance for it to actually slinky back in, because as you can see, the hose is revealing itself as the wand retracts. So you want to make sure to give this enough space for this to line up with the edge of this, and then once it does, which can be a little tricky, you can actually, I think you can put it up enough to where this actually lines up with this, but I'm not quite sure. That might be it. I'm not sure if that's right. And then you've got the wand right there. I feel like this goes in a little bit further, and the wand extends a little bit more. Yeah, it seems like it does. But it's a little bit stiff. Probably can't even see that very well, but obviously I'm trying to do this for the first time. There we go. Maybe, is there one more setting? Nope, that is it. Yep, that's it. So that's the wand fully extended, and you've got that little brick piece right at the edge of there. This is actually a really nice handle. Although, one thing that's annoying is that you pretty much have to use the wand in some capacity. Obviously, you can telescope it down, but one thing I didn't even really notice is that you need to use the wand. You cannot use just the hose by itself, which is definitely a point that I give to the later DC-26 City, which I also have, which is the first Dyson canister I ever got. And this is the first one I ever got with a power head. And of course, it does have the ball, although obviously the motor in the power head is actually not inside the ball. It's inside this mechanism right here. So it's very similar to a Dyson DC-18. In fact, it shares end caps and maybe a brush roll, although don't quote me on that. The brush roll looks similar to a DC-15, but the end caps are the same as the DC-15. Not the 18, but the DC-15. At least that's what someone told me. Maybe that's wrong, but that's my understanding of that. Of course, I don't have a DC-15 right now. I've been debating on buying one, but I'm probably not going to. So, and of course it doesn't stand up or anything like that, but since it is the canister, this power head is really heavy. Trying to pick this up with the wand fully extended, there's a lot of weight pulling on this, but of course you can, in theory at least, put it in that little parking bracket. So in theory you can store it like this, just like, you know, any other canister with a parking bracket, but obviously the whole selling point of the DC-21 is the ability to stow it away, hence the name. So I did find all the tools. We're going to pop the bin off, and we're just going to see. There's a lot of gunk in there. You probably could have emptied this before you shipped it, but that's okay. But yeah, and of course, in a similar vein to the DC-04, not yet was there any trap door, which is interesting because there was a trap door on the DC-11 from what I remember. So you actually do manually pop the cyclone off of the bin, and that's how you empty it. So very kind of old school in that regard. Again, very similar to like the DC-03 or DC-04. And there's a couple filters in here as well, which I probably can't actually check with the power head on, so I probably gotta pull that off and let that rest against the box or something, maybe. So there's this tab up here that you can open, and there is a brand new, this is quite nice. There is a brand new pre-motor filter in here, which is quite nice. I do enjoy that. Wait, did I have that the right way? Well, there's a pull tab there, so I would assume so. I just forgot which way this goes. Well, hold on. Because even though there was a pull tab, the outlet for the bin is up here. Oh, geez, Rocco, what are you doing? So that clicks back on, maybe. Yeah, that clicks back on. Yeah, because that's the output for the bin. Yeah, the bin goes on that way, so that is the right way, because you'd want the dirty side to be the white side, right? I don't know, now I'm second guessing myself. And then this is one of the first Dysons where you can actually easily get to the HEPA filter, which is quite nice. I mean, you could not do that before. And yeah, so there is a new HEPA filter in here with no gasket, but maybe this one, well, this does have a gasket on the output, so that's probably by design. Yeah, so this one actually doesn't use, I really hope you can see that. So this one does not use a gasket on the HEPA filter like on the DC-14 and whatnot. You don't have to install one, and it actually is part of all this. So the DC-21, surprisingly, you can still get filters and stuff for it, which is really nice. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm probably not doing this right, am I? Trying to line this up. There we go. Hey, there we go. So that's in. So we got two brand new filters. And I don't know, maybe this is like the DC-17 where the filter is supposed to be in upside down. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I think maybe that's supposed to go that way. Does it even show it on the picture? Okay, on the picture it does show the blue side up, so that probably is what we're going to do. It probably doesn't actually matter, but regardless, I'll make sure that's all correct. So brand new filters in this, which I'm definitely very happy about, and a full set of attachments. The power head is really, really scratched up, which I'm not a fan of. I thought that'd be a little nicer, but to be fair, maybe both the power heads, because basically the story behind this is that my friend Will, also known as Dual Cyclonic here on YouTube, I traded him my Henry HVR 200 Turbo for the one with the power nozzle input for this machine, because he had got two DC-21s at the exact same time. Basically said, hey, he's going to rebuild both of them, refurbish them. He'll keep one and give me the other. In theory, he was going to give me the nicer one. I assume this is the nicer one. But that power head, the front of that is definitely a little annoying. But maybe they were both like that? Because I would think if there was one better than the other, he'd give me the better one, because it's not like they have to go with the exact one. But either way, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. But yeah, so far I'm happy with this. So it all arrives safe and everything. Obviously that box, I'd be hesitant to reuse, but we'll see. And we do have all the tools. So one thing that's, again, I really hope I'm in frame. Am I in frame? Is this even pointed at me? Have I been ranting to just... Okay, so I think it's been pointed at the canister. But yeah, so... One thing that is annoying about this, of course, that I kind of alluded to earlier, is the fact that, first off, how do you... Oh, there's a button right here. So that detaches that, and you push this button, and you can slide... This is really stiff, and you can slide the wands, and then that clicks back together. But you have to use this whole thing. You can't... This is really annoying. You basically need... It's kind of like the hose wands on the Bissell's, but, you know, 2/3 longer. But that's probably not the right measurement, but 2/3 longer and way more annoying. So if you want to use the crevice tool pops on just like that. Now these look very DC-15-esque, which if they are DC-15-esque, then that means that in theory I should be able to use newer Dyson attachments on these, since those also fit from the DC-15. So here's an upholstery tool from a modern Dyson upright. And look at that, that does fit on there. So that's kind of neat. So you can use current gen Dyson accessories just like the DC-26. The only difference is that they're friction fit instead of using the clip, but you can in fact do that. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so we're going to put the power head back on here. I'm going to attach that back on there. I'm going to put it on there for now, just to keep it out of the way. And we're going to plug this in. Pull out that quick cable. Is that it? Is that all we get? Oh, that is terrible. That's it. Well, that's all the cord you get. That is ridiculous. How expensive was this thing when it came out? And that's all the cord we get? Again, this is why canisters are terrible. God, I don't understand why people like these things. But anyways, so I'm gonna plug this in. Well, it definitely sounds like a Dyson. Pretty much like any old Dyson, really. Alright. So let's extend this out. Okay, that's starting to get a little bit smoother now. I'll probably extend this a little bit more, because obviously this being extendable is definitely a good feature. So we'll stick with that, and we'll see how well this does. well, that's pretty much that. So, yeah, Dyson DC21 Stowaway. See, this is obnoxious. You got the hose, you got to deal with the cord, you got to deal with the hose, and you got to deal with the power head. Versus just having a, you know, I mean, yeah, it'd be bigger, but just having a big thing that you just push. I don't know. I never understood the canister supremacy thing, because why would you not just there? You just push the thing. You just have the thing, and you just push the thing, and that's all you have. I mean, yeah, it's heavier, but it's more consistent, you know. I don't know. Maybe that's just this thing, but yeah. So let's test out that cord rewind. That whopping 3-foot cord, and it doesn't work. Okay, that's great. Let's try that. There we go. That slightest little thing. Of course, it's old, so I can't give it too much crap. But yeah, and then now the start of the show. We wrap. Yeah, it comes out of that bottom part. Then we wrap it around the back channel, bottom channel, back around to the top channel, and then hook the wand right there. There we go. Look at that. And then you got the whole thing, and then you just grab your power nozzle and slap it right there. It kind of drags a little bit, but I mean, beyond that, I'm honestly surprised that none of these parts have snapped off after God knows how long. Because I mean, this thing it doesn't seem like the most built thing, but they obviously reinforced these pretty well. Well, this was also after the era of the darker plastic, which this darker plastic lasts a lot better than, you know, the older stuff. Rocco, get down. Down. Yes, I'm talking to you. Get down. Get off that table. Thank you. You can be on the couch, but don't get on the side tables. Those belong to my grandma, and she can't get me more because she's dead. I love you. Look at it. Look at it. It's orange, just like you. See how it's orange? You see how it's orange? You like that it's orange? I love you. I love you. A beautiful potato. But yeah, so we got the DC21 Stowaway, and so far so good. It's a bit dirty in some spots, but yeah, not too bad. Yeah, that's the thing, is canisters definitely get bruised and battered a fair bit because there's scraping up against everything else. I don't understand how this upholstery tool got so scraped up, because it literally sits in the channel on the back here. And then of course there's some hair on the hose. There was some hair on the brush roll too, but that's not too bad. It's kind of to be expected. But there's that little dusting brush, very much like a DC-17, but with like the fitting of a DC-15. So yeah. And then of course, but you can't really find tools for this anymore, but of course you have the ability to use the newer tools, which is quite nice. So you can find replacements for these that will fit and work. So that's good. But yeah, so that's the Dyson DC21 Stowaway. What year is this one from? Oh, I don't know why I thought that wouldn't happen, because that's literally on the bin. So this one is, yeah. So this one is from the third week of 2008. So this machine just turned, math numbers, 2008. How long ago was 2008? 16 years old? I'm bad at math. Yeah, so this thing is honestly working great considering how old it is and all that. So, but yeah, so pretty interesting. It's amazing that this thing is still in as good a shape as it is in terms of like functionality. Like nothing's broken, nothing's, I mean, things are battered, some things are super scratched and scuffed from just years and years and years of it being rammed into furniture. Although I guess this front piece might be replaceable, but I'm not going to bother. I don't really care that much about it. But it's still fascinating to see. And yeah, so this is Intelitech Studios with the unboxing and sort of overview, first look, and a little bit of a demo of the Dyson DC21 Stowaway, or if you're in the UK, the DC21 Motorhead. Obviously either name works equally because it is both. But yeah, and to my knowledge, this is the only version that exists. To my knowledge, there's no like silver or blue or pink or purple, just the orange. And there appears to be, it's not on all floors, it's just the Dyson Stowaway DC21. So yeah. Obviously, Dyson never gave their canister line as much love. Although their newest canister, they gave a little bit of love because it's got a kind of a similar bin design to like the cordless machines, which is kind of interesting. It'd be interesting to test one of those, but I've never bought one just because even at only $200, which is honestly, you know, brand new a lot of times what they go for on sale, probably a good investment just for the sake of it, you know, because I mean, 5-year warranty, brand new Dyson, you know, for that little. But I don't know. It's probably something you'll see you might see that canister on the channel later on, depending on how I feel about this. But I don't know. They got rid of a lot of the features, like the stowaway feature of this machine on those, which I don't really understand why, because even if this hose is kind of floppy and stuff, like it compacts nice and neat. I mean, I guess this hose doesn't wrap around as tightly, but I mean, who cares? It's all in one spot. You can just pick this up. I mean, it's heavy. It's ridiculously heavy. I don't know why people think this is easier than an upright, because it's not. But, you know, it's, Rocco's being a brat, as per usual. Rocco, what are you doing? Can someone please give Rocco the brain cell, because he hasn't had the brain cell in a while, and he's not handling it very well. So, but anyways, Dyson DC21 Stowaway unboxing. I'm not going to say assembly because there's no assembly to it. That's one thing about canisters, there's no assembly. But yeah, unboxing, first look, first use, kind of a basic overview. Yeah, and Rocco's knocking stuff over. Rocco? What are you doing? 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 I am a potato. I am a cat who is a potato. And I'm very potatoistic. And that's what I am. I'm a potato. Alright. Peace.